that we will record this session and it will be made available on our website and other social media sites, so that if you want to refer back to it for answers to questions, or if you wanted to share with other family members or other friends who may also be interested for their children. So once again, this is our new Orange County Schools Online Academy. It's, you know, it's an opportunity for students who, couple reasons, may find that this is a better fit for them than attending a brick and mortar traditional school setting. As you know, we've had a very interesting year with the pandemic, but there were some positives that came out of that. And some of us learned that, you know what, virtual way of learning was the better fit for them. And so we wanted to make sure that families have the opportunity to continue if this is what you prefer for learning for your students. Also, we also understand that, you know, the pandemic isn't over. And so families may prefer to continue virtual while, you know, we get past COVID further than we are. So we just wanted to create this opportunity. And this is the only way that a family or a student interested in continuing remotely and staying virtual is through our new online academy. This past year, because of the pandemic, we did offer various options to families, and we are no longer able to do that. So we want to share with you about our new academy. And so again, you know, it's a new school option for students grades K through 12. It's a complete online learning program. So you will log on to a platform, you will attend classes online, and there will be teachers assigned to your child who will offer some classes live in person, but a lot of the classes will be asynchronous. So that means that you can attend class on your schedule. If you want to do your sessions in the morning or in the afternoon, that's up to you, and you will determine your schedule for most classes. There will be opportunities for one-to-one and small group support because, if your child needs additional tutoring, or as teachers are monitoring your child's work, there will be support available for your child. And we have all different types of learners, and each of us in different ways may require different accommodations, and so that will be available. I think it is important to note, though, that not all of our exceptional children's services and English language learner services may be available via the online academy. For most part, yes, but there will be some scenarios where we will not be able to. So we just want to be very upfront with you on that. And then, of course, our students will have the opportunity to meet all of their graduation requirements through the online academy. And so because it will be a standalone school. This past year, we stayed enrolled in our schools while we attended a virtual option. This new school is a standalone school, so if you apply and attend, you are a student of the Orange County Schools Online Academy. And so if you're a high school student and say that you are a senior next year and you go to the Online Academy, when you graduate, your diploma will say the Orange County Schools Online Academy. So I just wanted to be clear with that. I'll respond to some more questions, some generic questions that we know you may have. We'll touch base upon that as we go throughout the presentation. So here, you can think about, will all of the traditional classes that your students may be used to at the school be available? For the most part, yes, but there will be classes that will not be available. For instance, especially in middle school and high school, if you have band or chorus, those won't be offered in the online academy. If you are used to certain career technical education courses, not all of those will be available on the online academy. Because as you can imagine, like some of these programs, they require a lab and hands-on, experiences that we wouldn't be able to do virtually. So for instance, if you're into welding and you're taking a welding course, or certain agriculture career technical courses at the high schools, well, those are courses that not all of them will be obviously available because we can't offer those hands-on experiences virtually. And then we do have some programs. As you know, we have the International Baccalaureate program, we have the Project Lead the Way. There are different programs like that that will not be available on the online academy. So but there will be opportunities for other courses that, for other electives, and, the curriculum, and I'll go to the next slide here real quick. We'll talk about the curriculum in a minute. Why we want to offer the Orange County Schools Online Academy is it does allow an option for our families who may continue to have health and safety concern for returning to school in person. And some of our children, they learn best. Like, that's one thing, a positive that came out of the COVID experience, is that some of our students realized that, wow, you know what? I flourish in the virtual learning world. And so we wanted to make sure that that option continued for those children and students. And also, it just allows another way for us to be able to customize the teaching and learning for our students. This is open to all of our Orange County school students that, accept what we talked about. Like, if you're receiving certain exceptional children's services or EL services, and that you can have conversations with us. So let us know if you have questions about that, because then we can have conversation to see, will your child's services be able to be met via the online academy. And then, of course, this is open to all new students that are not currently enrolled in Orange County schools. And we encourage new students to join the Orange County School District. The other piece, like, who this is a good fit for too, right? Because, students have to be quite self-dependent, right? Independent, and be able to manage time well, and be able to navigate, on an online platform well, and to be able to, stay on pace, right? And so, it does require a certain type of learner. And so if you know that your child does better with the aid and guide of an in-person teacher and being around other students, physically, then you know that this may not be the best fit for your child. The application for the school is now open. And I know that some of us may have tried to go and follow the link, and it may be going to a page not found site. So we're trying to see why that happens. It's not happening to everyone and all the time. So, but if you click on it, there are different ways. You can right click on it to open the link, or cut and paste the URL into a page. But if you're having any issues, please reach out to us, and we will walk you through and help you navigate that site. So, and I will share with you the link, the email address to reach us at. So we do have a tight deadline of June 30th. And part of this is, as a new school, the state requires that we must have a minimum of 100 students enrolled for us to actually open up a new school. And so we wanted to make sure that we had the 100 students by June 30th, so that we can proceed with the rest of the planning for us to launch and start our school in August. And so we will let families who apply know by July 2nd if we have 100 students or not applying, and will we be able to open the new school or not. I probably should speak a little bit slower because Sandra's trying to interpret, and I want to make, okay, great. Okay, so being that it is a new school, and while we're waiting for applications, here are some things that we're doing to get ready. We are researching what is the best curricular program for our students. So we're in the process of researching that, because it will be an online platform where they will provide a teacher and all of the curriculum online. And we will be looking to, hire staff. And then, even though this is a virtual school, there will be a physical building where, should you need to go in and meet with someone, or maybe your student needs some in-person tutoring and support, we will have a physical building. And right now that is at 920 Corporate Drive, which is the building where we have our Welcome Center. So right now that is the physical location for our online academy. And we will have orientation before the first week of school. And of course, school starts August 23rd this fall, and that that we will be on the traditional calendar. And then, of course, we will schedule an open house, and we will have tutorial sessions for our students, but our families, so that you're familiar with the platform that our students will be using to engage with their teaching and learning. And we will determine what that date is once we know for sure that we have the enrollment necessary to open our school. And so at our academy, you can think about our instruction, right? All the courses are taught by certified teachers. It will be all of our graduation requirements, starting from kindergarten, right, all the way through grade 12. All of the courses that are your English and your math and your sciences and social studies, all of those requirements will be offered at our online academy. The type of teaching and learning, again, there will be courses that are live like this, right, at the same time with your teacher. And a lot of it will be asynchronous, meaning that your students will be able to log on and take their courses at their time. But every day we're expecting that students will log on, and so attendance will be taken, right? Every day it's expected that students will log on, they will do their coursework, they'll stay on pace to meet all of the course requirements, doing their homework and on time, and their assessments. All that is still required, just like if they were attending regular school. And then the courses will be aligned to the North Carolina state standards, and of course, therefore meeting all graduation requirements. And like I mentioned earlier, our students who may, get the AIG services or exceptional EC services or EL services, there are those services that are provided. It's just that there are some special courses that require very specific customization and differentiation. And in our exceptional children and EL services, so that's why we want to engage with you to make sure that if you require those, that those are supports that we will be able to provide via the online academy. And here are some expectations that I shared, some of those already, but again, like, attendance will be taken, and it'll be required that the student log on and attend their classes every day. That, this is new curriculum, right? So if I'm having a fifth grader start, they will receive new fifth grade curriculum. This is not like, this is school, and it's just like if they were going to a brick and mortar school. This is very different from some of the work that we were doing during COVID when it first started, because even last year, teachers were teaching new curriculum, right? And that, of course, the student work will be graded, just as always, and students will take assessments, both for their courses, but also our district and state required assessments. And a lot of our state assessments does require, even if you are attending an online academy, that you take those assessments in person. And so, you will have to come in, and we would make arrangements and schedule that with you so that you can come in and your child can take the assessments. There will be opportunities for your child to still receive counseling services and any other types of support that your child needs that there will still be opportunities for that. And you know what, one of the things that's really important about child development is socialization. And while your child may be virtual, there still will be opportunities for students to engage with other peers. It may be virtually, but there will be opportunities for in-person field trips and events and gatherings to allow students that physical interaction with each other and physical experiences. And it will be required that the students keep up with their schoolwork, because one thing, you know, what we will not be good is if they're not logging on and they get behind in their work. Just like if, you know, when they're attending school, you know, if we don't keep up, that's really hard for children to get caught up. And so we don't want that to happen. So same types of expectations at a regular brick and mortar will be required at our online academy. As most of you know, in Orange County schools, we do provide a device. For a majority of our grades, they receive a laptop, but we do have kindergartners who may get a tablet. Currently, we use the iPad. And then if some of our families that have difficulty getting internet service, but is able to receive internet service in the home, but you need some assistance, we have offered hotspots to support that. But we also know in our community, because of where we live, not all families have access to the internet, unfortunately. And while the county is working to address that, we do need you to be able to have internet access. So because of this being all online, if you know that you can't get your child access to the internet, then this online academy option would not be viable for you. But if your child, you know, goes to a relative's while you are at work, and you know that your relative has internet access and your child will be able to attend school that way, you know, that's something that we're not saying, you know, where you have to get internet access, but as long as your child has access to the internet to be able to access the coursework, then you would be able to qualify to be a student at the online academy. So we're going to just, there were some questions that did come in, so we'll respond to those. And then I will just go through some of the questions that is also on our website. And here's the link to the website. It's orangecountyfirst.com. And I want to say the /page/1149. But if you go to the home site, you'll see on the left-hand side, there's a link that will take you in. That's what it looks like, new 21-22 OCS Online Academy. If you link there, it will take you to the site where there will be some questions and answers and the link to the application. And if you have any questions, please email them to ocs.virtualacademy@orange.k12.nc.us, and either myself, Mr. McEwen, or our other interns in the office will help and respond to your questions as quickly as possible. So with that said, I am going to stop sharing my screen. There we go. And some of the questions that came in. So yes, like if, you know, especially after this past year, if you have a student that is a bit anxious to go back to school in person, you know, if they want to try going back to school in person and then they realize that it's not working for them, will you be able to apply to Orange County School, the Online Academy, after June 30th? As long as we have met the threshold of the 100 students and we have started and opened the new Online Academy, yes, you can apply after the deadline. One thing that we always want to advise though, right, is we want stability for our students. And so, you know, once you make a commitment to where your child is going to attend school, we really do ask that you try to finish out the school year at the school, may it be on the online academy, at the online academy or at a brick and mortar school. Because every time that your child changes schools, that's disruptive for their learning, right? So if you start school, say at any one of our current schools, and you want to switch and say, you know what, I would like my child to now apply and attend the online academy, we always recommend like doing so at natural break times. So for instance, at the end of a grading period, so they can finish the coursework, get their grade, and then they can transfer. Or at the semester mark, like at the half year mark, so that again, they finish the course. For some of our students, it's a year, half year course. And so they can finish it before they make a change. And then of course, at the end of the year for the new year is always not best for them to finish out, and they're not switching in the middle of the quarter or the year. But yes, if you started at a traditional school and you realize, no, you know what, I need my child to continue virtually, you can apply as long as we've met the threshold and we've started the school. So like I shared, will Orange County Schools Online Academy provide AIG services? Absolutely. And for sports, in our middle and high school students who want to participate in athletics, you may do so. And the school that you will be doing that with is your school that you would normally be assigned to as your attendance zone school. So if I live in, say, the ALS attendance zone, but I'm attending the online academy and I want to participate in their extracurricular sports, then yes, I can. Or if I am normally would be assigned to Orange High School, but I am attending online academy, but I would like to participate in their soccer team, I can do so. So yes, you can participate in athletics. If you're currently attending
I think she's having some technical difficulties. Dr. Dawson, we're not able to hear you or see you move. Let's wait and see if she gets her internet back on. By the information Dr. Dawson was sharing, yes, it will be a traditional school calendar. We and I am not sure if it doesn't work out if you'll be able to switch. Hopefully she'll be able to join in a little bit to answer that question. Yes, if your children live in Orange County, they should be able to apply to the online academy. Um, it shouldn't be a problem since you are already in the county. If you have any other questions, you can type them out on the chat.
Okay, so that was a nice intermission. So please pardon me. And this is what happens, right? In the world of technology, I was disconnected and I couldn't log back on. So I just kept trying until I got it to work. So um, so here's let me just respond to the continue with the questions that came in via our form, and then I'll go to our chat questions. Okay, so what I was saying was for our families who applied to our choice school, if you withdraw from the choice schools to attend Online Academy, you will have to reapply for the choice schools. Okay, we will not hold that seat. And let's see. And then, yes, I know that again, if you're having issues with that link, we're trying to figure out why, because some people are having issues with the link to apply and other people are not. So while we troubleshoot that, if you run across that, please email us and we will reach back to you and walk you through and help you apply. And so again, like just like we talked about, if you are starting in person and then you decide that you would like to apply online, of course you are able to do so. Just that, you know, and then other way around, you start at the Online Academy and then you realize this wasn't the best fit and you want to go back to your traditional school, of course you're able to do that. Again, we just ask not to flip-flop too much because that is disruptive for your child. So as far as some of the questions that came in chat, so as far as electives based on interest from students, are they predetermined? So just like when they're going to school, they have a listing of electives that the students can select from. That will also be available for the students as well. It's just that the electives may not be the same because virtually we can't offer certain programs that we're able to offer in person, such as some of our career technical programs like we discussed. So previously we had two forms that we did ask you to respond to, right? We had the, if you were interested, you thought that you might be interested in applying, and we asked you to fill out that Google form, and then trying to keep gauging, like, did we have enough interest that we should even go down this path of trying to open an online academy? Then we asked you to please let us know if your intent was to apply. If you filled out both of those, those were just that, they were just surveys. Now this is official. Like if no, I want to apply, then you want to go to that link on our website, and now this is your actual application to the school. So we will need you to do that. If for your high school student, they only want a particular class, would there need to be a minimum number of students for the course to run? So if we're offering, so this is where we can have a little bit more flexibility and not necessarily. So there may be a course that is offered, and then so that'll depend on where we land with our curricular program. So most often there will be courses that they can take and won't require a minimum, and then other courses that will. So there is some flexibility there. Can the kids join clubs? So if your child wants to participate in some of the extracurricular, like after school programs at their attendance zone school, there may be opportunities for your child to join. And then just like we talked about athletics, the one part that will be difficult that we will not be able to provide is transportation. So if your child wants to participate, say like in robotics club at a school for our elementary and middle, or even high, because we do have that, or if they want to participate in athletics, the families will be responsible for getting their children there. That's something that we're not able to do at this time. So as far as knowing what % of the time will be synchronous, I don't have that percentage right now. But most online courses, they'll have a teacher teaching, right? But a lot of it will be asynchronous. So I think just to be realistic, I think we have to be ready for that, that it will not be like live teaching like this all the time. And so as we research and find the best platform and the best curricular program for our students, we will definitely share that information out. Will they have options to participate in in-person clubs in one specific school or from across all of the in-person schools? So they would only be able to participate at their normally assigned attendance zone. So if I am a student that is, based on where I live, would be assigned to, say, New Hope Elementary School, and I'm attending online, but there's an after-school program that New Hope offers that I would like my child to participate in, that's something that we could connect with the school, and you would drive them to New Hope after school on those days so that they can participate. But they wouldn't be able to say, my attendance zone is New Hope, but I want my child to participate in an after-school program at Pathways, because that's not my attendance zone school. Okay. Let's see. Is the school system putting a limit on the number of students that can be enrolled in the online academy? I do believe there is a cap, not by us, but by the state. And you'll have to pardon me. There is a number, and in this moment I can't remember it. But these questions we will take and we will add to the website and have those answers for you. So I'm sorry, for some reason that number, I have two numbers in my head, but I don't want to say it because I don't know which number it is for that. So we will definitely post these questions on an FAQ link on the website, and we will respond. We have one more information session next week, but we will work to get these answers up at the beginning part of next week, and then we'll add to them after our next Tuesday's information session as well. Will students in the online academy have access to the North Carolina? Yes, and actually North Carolina Virtual Public Schools, those courses actually are one of the programs that we're looking at, will that be the best fit to offer our coursework to the students? But yes, just like our high school students who qualify to participate in the College and Career Promise, they will also still be able to participate in that program. Now, if they're taking courses at Durham Tech Community College, and if the course that they're interested in taking is in person, then they would have to attend that course in person, even though they're our online academy student. Just like if it's an online course, they would take it online. And even now, like when they're attending in person, if Durham Tech offers it virtually, they were taking it virtually. And then if it was in person, they would also take it in person. It would be determined by the college, not us. All right. There's driver's ed for high school, and so students would still be able to take driver's ed with their high school at assigned attendance zone high school. And let's see, I'm trying to think of any other questions that you may have. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're covering most of the questions that we had. So, that's because I don't know, again, we're having technical difficulties for some people. Some people are having issues with the link, and some people are not. So if you are having issues, please email us at ocs.virtualacademy@orange.k2 and provide us a way that we can contact you so we can walk you through it. And we've tried all different ways, like we've tried different browsers, we're still trying to figure out why that's happening, that was brought to our attention. So if you are having issues, please let us know and we will. Okay, if you emailed, if it's okay with you, I will contact you after this meeting and then walk you through it and see how we can fix it so that you can apply. Okay. All right. Has there been a large amount? So as of the last board meeting, I'm trying to think, we had 88 families that wanted to apply. So I think that, that there's a very good chance we will meet the 100 threshold. So it's now been made public to outside of Orange County schools. And so we're hoping that families who are not enrolled with us that would be interested would also be able to help us meet our requirement. So I see that, okay, so will masks still be required in schools by August for our traditional schools? As of right now, the last executive order by the governor is still requiring masks at schools by children and staff indoors and outdoors. So that's where we're at right now, that we will be in Plan A, meaning that school every day, Monday through Friday, with the minimum social distancing and as much as possible when we can, but that there isn't like a set required, must be 6 feet like we had before. But the executive order is right now requiring masks for all students and staff indoors and outdoors. Now, as we know, those get updated. And so before school starts, it may be different, but right now, masks are required. Okay. So I'm just checking. I think that answers all of our questions that have come in so far. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. So giving up the option to return. So I'm trying to read the long one. Giving up the option to return to a select school if online doesn't work well is a big risk. I don't know how frequently new students are added to select schools midterm, but I'm guessing it doesn't happen often. So again, yes, as far as, if you are leaving a choice school, you would have to wait that whole year. And especially if the school is full, and sometimes some of our schools have a wait list. And so it wouldn't be fair to those on the wait list to tie up a seat until we see how a family likes the online academy or not. So they would have to, so that's where we're at right now. But that doesn't mean that we won't review it, just like you're asking. But right now, where we're at is that the families would have to reapply to the choice school the following choice cycle. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Good. Well, I'm so glad that you're finding this helpful. We just thought instead of just opening up the link, that we would just share information, and we will host another information session very similar to this one next Tuesday. The time, we changed the time a little bit because we know that there is another meeting happening at 6 o'clock. And so we didn't want to conflict with that. So we are actually moving up the info session for next week on Tuesday to 5 to 6, just so that you can partake in both. If you would like to come back, if maybe you thought about this some more and you came up with some other questions. But you can always email us, and we always try to do our best to respond within 24 to 48 hours at the most. So And let's see, will the teachers for online school be current? So not necessarily. What this past year, what we learned, right, from experience is that our teachers, it's a lot because they are teaching their regular students. And at this time, we are not going to be pulling away our teachers from the schools where they currently teach to teach the online academy. So they're most likely the teachers that will be teaching the courses will come with the company that provides the curriculum. So in that case, most likely they will not be our teachers that are on staff teaching at our schools in person. Are all school on a plan for, okay, on plan A? So yes, I can't remember exactly which board meeting, but the board did approve for us as of right now for all schools to return back to in person under plan A, the start of this next school year. Yes. And yes, there will be a guidance counselor and student advisors. So there will definitely be a guidance counselor assigned to the school that will provide our students that level of counseling and support. One thing I do want to be clear that will be different than what we had this past year, because we did have a number of students who, did partake in the self-paced 100% virtual remote model. And they too had a teacher that was not an OCS teacher. The teacher came from the curriculum provider, but we did assign Orange County School learning coaches that provided an additional support and a touch point to make sure that our students were doing well. Currently, that we will not be continuing at this time. It will just be the teacher that's assigned from with the curriculum, right? And then, but we will have a counselor from an Orange County School counselor, the principal, that will provide our students the support. So the best email, I'll put it in chat, is ocs.virtualacademy@orange.k12.nc.us. If you pose your questions there, we will respond to you within 24, the latest 48 hours. If, again, Ms. Noah, if your child starts at the online academy and you're just realizing that, okay, wait a minute, we're doing our best and this just isn't working, yes, you will have the opportunity to request a transfer back to your attendance zone school based on your address. There will also be times that the school may need to reach out to you and say, you know what, we're really concerned. Is everything okay? Your child is not attending every day. They're not able to keep up with the work. What supports can we provide to make sure that your child can be successful at the virtual academy? And we will do everything possible, just like we would at any school, any one of our schools. When we see that our children are struggling, of course, we put in every support and effort to help your child be successful. But after we've done everything we can and your child is still not doing well at the online academy, we will then have a conference and have a conversation, and we will say, you know what, it's in your child's best interest to transfer back to a traditional school because the online academy is not working for them. It's not a good fit. So sometimes the school will initiate that request for a transfer back because we want what's best in the best interest of our child. So if the enrollment drops below 100, would there be a risk of the online school closing during this academic year? That's a good question. I can't imagine that we would close it during the academic year, but that is something that we will look into further to just make double check. So that's something waiting for a response from DPI on. So has Edmentum been eliminated as an option for this academy? So I would say no. When we are purchasing new curriculum like this, we go through a process, what's called the request for proposal, right? We're actually putting that together right now, and we're putting together the requirements of what it is that we're looking for, what type of parameters and all of that. And we will post that to the public, and then vendors who look for that, they will respond and say, oh, you know what, we can meet those requirements and those needs. We are going to submit a proposal. We will review, we'll have a panel of our district team to review the proposals that come in. And then we have a rubric and we score and see. And then usually any qualifying vendor, they present to us and they share with us the proposal, and we then select what we feel is the best fit for what we are looking for. So when we put out that request for proposal, Edmentum has a right, just like any other vendor, to submit a proposal if they would like to provide, be considered for providing us the curriculum. So no, Edmentum has not been eliminated, but they would have to go through the process like every other company that would be interested in providing us that support. So we would make sure that the students had access to the library. Of course, they have access to the public school library as well. So yes, students will have access to a library, and I would think that it would be both the public school library, and we can look into accessing one of their attendance zone library as well. These are great questions. Thank you so much. Okay. I'm just seeing if any others came in on the other link. Okay. Okay. So as far as the hours, right, because we will have a physical address and building for the online academy, those will probably be your regular like school hours. But as far as the hours that your child is attending, there's flexibility there. And that's because that's what's one of the benefits of an online academy and the asynchronous instruction is that, if a child can't attend a class at 8 in the morning, like if they were attending a physical school, but they could start, say tomorrow, oh, you know what, I can start class at 9. I have that flexibility to start class at 9. But maybe on a particular day, I want to start class at 7 in the morning, or maybe it has to be at 11. So there's some flexibility there. But again, if there are synchronous courses where there's an instructor that's teaching a course at a certain time and you want to attend that, then you would have to do that at the time that they're attending the course, teaching the course. So it's flexible, different options. And again, once we finalize who our vendor is, we will have more specifics around that. So we're getting close to the hour mark. So just as, just in summary, there's been legislation that's saying that if school districts want to provide families opportunity to attend school remotely or virtually, all online, they must offer a separate virtual school. They can't do what we did last year and allow our students to stay enrolled and attend their regular school, but then take classes online, right, and be remote. So that's why we have we're looking into starting Orange County School Online Academy as a separate standalone school where your child, you can apply to attend and become, full-time student, and where it's all of the usual like types of services that you would get at the brick and mortar school. Most of it will be available at the online academy, and for special circumstances, please let us know, reach out to us, and then we can have conversation to say, will we be able to provide those services, yes or no, and determine if this is a good fit. While all graduation requirements will be offered, not all of the courses that are offered at our current traditional schools will be available at the online academy, such as our specialty programs like Project Lead the Way, like International Baccalaureate, and a number of our career and technical education courses will not be able to, because that actually requires a physical lab where students have to be physically present to do some of the coursework. But what will be available is that our students will still be able to partake in the dual enrollment college and career promise. They'll still be able to partake in advanced placement AP courses. They will have an array of electives that they can choose from. And of course, your English, math, science, the core subjects, will be available to all of our students. And, these learners, they have to be pretty self-reliant and independent learners that can maintain attendance every day, that they can keep up with the coursework without a physical teacher always being there to keep on them, right, to do that. And for families who are currently attending choice schools, that you would be giving up that choice seat to attend the online academy, and then if you wanted to return back to the choice school, you would have to go through that lottery process again the following year. They will be able to participate in athletics at their attendance zone school. And then if there are some extracurricular activities that they're interested in participating with their attendance zone school, that those arrangements can be made. But again, transportation will not be provided. Okay. We will need a minimum of 100 students enrolled to be able to officially open. And the deadline to apply is midnight of June 30th. And by July 2nd, we'd be reaching out to all of those families who did apply to just confirm that, yes, we have met the threshold, and we will be opening the online academy and proceeding with your application, or sharing and letting you know that unfortunately we did not meet the threshold and we will not be able to start the online academy. And if that's the case, you would continue to attend where you're currently assigned. Okay. So if there aren't any further questions, I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your evening to be with us to learn more about our new, potentially new online academy of Orange County Schools. If you have any questions, please do feel free to email ocs.virtualacademy@orange.k12.nc.us. The application deadline, June 30th, and you can access the link to the application on our website. On the home site, on the left-hand side, you'll see a link to our new OCS Online Academy. And if you're having issues with the application link, please email us and we will reach back out to you and help you to get access and to submit your application. Again, a special thank you to Miss Natalie and Miss Sandra for helping us with our interpretive services this evening. Of course, Orange County Schools is a great school district and a great community of caring and dedicated professionals here to serve our children and their families. So again, thank you. My name is Dr. Kathleen Dawson, your Deputy Superintendent. Have a wonderful evening. The recording will be available on the website.